welcome to another CB200 video. I left you a while ago after stripping off the swing arm off the Honda CB200 and discovering huge holes and basically a dead swing arm. Since then there has been a lot of this. These huge, great big parts in vinegar. And a lot of this. Scrubbed, greased, vinegar process. There's been a purchase and a box opening. And now we have all these parts ready to go back on the bike. So I thought I'd get it set up, show you what I've got to and a little bit of how I've got to it, and of course where we are with the new replacement swing arm. So I'll get set up and we'll quickly film some of this and do a quick video on where we are, and as soon as it gets above freezing here in a cold February day in 2018, we shall start rebuilding the swing arm on the Honda CB200. So back in a moment. So quickly going through the parts, we've got the axle, we've got the swing arm bolt, we've then got centre stand, all nicely painted, chain guard, all nicely done and sorted, painted. This is the chain guard disc on the rear wheel. So I'd like to put another coat of paint on that, but that's looking really good. And then things like the brake unit, nicely cleaned up, polished. And something else that we saw from last time was the restrainer for the swing arm, for the brake unit. So that's all now finished and sorted out. Then there are lots of small parts that have all been cleaned and got back to nice finish on them. I've oiled, all blued the bolts, etc. So those are the chain adjusters, tensioners. This is one of the spacers off the brake unit, all nicely now finished, painted up, etc. And from the box opening and all the work to get to here, and let's open the box now and show you what I had to do to that unit prior to me getting it for you and showing you now. So let's go look at that now. On inspection, the overall, it looks really tidy. The odd little speck of rust over here, which needs to just sand that down to bare metal so I can prime and paint. One thing that is concerning though is I've got these two scratches. I don't know how well you can be like. There's one here and there's one on the other side across here, and they feel very deep. So I'm just going to get a sanding wheel. I'm just going to smooth this off and just make sure that these are scratches, that these are deep scratches, and if they are, give them a bit of a sand, give them a bit of a dressing just to get rid of the roughness. And then I'm going to get this ready and primed so that tomorrow I can get this painted with an undercoat and then a gloss black, ready for fitting to the bike. So that's what I'll do. I'm just going to give these a sand off, just with a Dremel and a sanding disc, just to give this a checking, make sure this is a scratch. Okay, still thinking that it's a scratch, but a pretty deep scratch though, so we'll carry on. Side. It is a scratch, one I can make out anyway. Seem to have got rid of it on that side, and so I'll do the one on the other side. I'll tidy up these little pockets of rust over here and give it another wipe down, and mask it off, ready for painting tomorrow morning. Wipe down this mess. Sharp bits over here, so I'm going to get the file. Right, we'll let that dry and then I'll mask everything off that needs masking, and then it's ready for some primer and some nice black paint. Right, I've masked the whole thing off, giving it a full sanding down as well. Just masking off the last few bits now. It's really not the right kind of weather day to be doing this. It's rainy and it's a little bit chilly, but you know, I've got to get some undercoat on this, so just putting some masking on the suspension bushings at the back. So giving it a wipe down with a damp cloth, as it were, and I'm going to spray this with it's not a paid for production in a sponsor, but this Emery enamel spray paint, red primer and then black gloss. Give it a couple of coats of this undercoat, three coats of the top coat, and then varnish as well. So yeah, we'll come back when a bit more painting. Right, so there is the replacement swing arm, all underpainted. Leave that to dry. Not the best of days to paint it on, but hey ho. Leave that to dry and get some paint and top coat it. See you in a bit. And here it is all finished. So after doing all that work on it, I've given it about 6 coats of hard paint, black paint, and then a load of coats of clear. It feels and looks like it's in really good condition. I had to do a bit of work, you saw, on the two scratches that were along here, but I've dressed those and finished those off nicely. They were along here. Those are now no sign of those whatsoever. When it gets a bit warmer, I want to give this another coat of clear. But no, I think we've really been quite lucky to get this all the way from the US. Obviously on my one, if you recall, all of this was gone, completely unshot to pieces, and to get it repaired, welding, etc., was going to cost me in the region of about £300, and I haven't got £300. Whereas this cost me more to ship it to the UK than the actual swing arm cost me to buy. And that I find astonishing, but that's where we're at. So all of this we'll look to getting it all back together again this year. I really want to get out on the bike this spring and summer, so I'm hoping this spring I can get this finished. This is the second to last job that needs to happen on the bike. The cush bushes, or the drive bushes on the cush drive on the rear wheel, are a bit worn. But as I said, this is just a really quick update to sort of show you how I got to where I got to and what I've had to do, and we shall look at getting this installed hopefully in the next few months. And I've got to make a decision. When I got this part from the US, in here are the plastic bushings and the insert sleeves that are original, and they look to be original and look to be in good condition. But I also, in the meantime, actually commissioned a local workshop to actually produce me some new bushes. So these have been produced in bushing bronze. So got one and the other side, and then a new sleeve with grease sleeves with grease holes, and that will go in like that. And then also to do me a new bolt, or rather to modify the bolt. So I've got a hole in this end, it's drilled all the way through, and there's grease holes there, and a hole here and grease holes here. Got nice new nipples to go on it, so that when that is inserted into the frame, that will then hopefully grease this area here. So the question I've got, and I've got to make this decision, is whether I take out the bushings from the replacement swing arm and replace it with my new bushings, and see how they go. I don't know how well they'll fit, I don't know how well they'll work, but yeah, that's a decision I've got to make. So well, why don't you tell me, what do you think I should do? Remove the existing bushes out of the replacement swing arm, which appear to be good, and replace them for these newly made bushings that were made following the spec of some brand new original parts, so the plastic bushing and the sleeve, so they've been made to the same dimensions. Your thoughts, your feedback in the video, please. If you've liked this video, if you liked any of my videos, particularly this one, please give me a thumbs up. You might want to consider subscribing and follow the track of this, getting this Honda CB200 back on the road. We did the motorbike seat in another video, and I've decided these belt ends were corroding because they're just mild steel, so I ended up painting them. But I will get around to showing you how I made those in a video in the summer. That's definitely a summer job to play with, and I'm also looking to have the nuts, the bolts that fix on, having some of those made to replace the ones that came with that, because they're pretty corroded. But yeah, there we go. Like, subscribe, and see you next time.